What's going on, guys? It's Steven here from Digital Renovations. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the little bell icon, and eat some pancakes if you want to help me out here and stay up to date with the latest videos from Digital Renovations. Everybody wants to know how to use Docker Compose. Don't pretend like you don't. All the cool kids are doing it, so let's learn to do it properly. First thing we're going to do is cover off what the hell Docker Compose actually is. Essentially, it's a tool that's going to help you build and run multiple containers together in a super easy way. Makes them super easy to build and manage, so when it comes time to build, test, and deploy your applications, you have one place to control everything from. So it's not just going to save you time, but also a lot of headaches when it comes to dependencies and deployment procedures. Alright, I know you're excited, so let's get into it. First, what do you need to know to get started with Docker Compose? I'd say the first thing you're going to want to know is a little bit about Docker basics. I've got you covered on that with this video if you don't already know anything about Docker. So feel free to check that out before continuing with the rest of the video. Otherwise, you're going to need Docker installed. So I'd say if you're looking at this video, there's a good chance you've got that done already. If you don't, head over to docker.com and grab that. Today we're going to be playing with this leveraging Docker Desktop for Windows, which builds out of WSL, but you could equally run Docker in Linux or Mac. They're all great options. Now, we need to look at how we're going to set up some Docker containers first. So we've got our old school way. If you're still doing it this way, don't feel bad about yourself. No one's perfect. This is still a great way to get Docker containers up and run for super simple container options. So when you're using just a single container, it's actually probably a lot quicker. So if we run Docker run detached mode, we've got some ports going. Going to link 8082 to port 80 in the container. Give it a name, cool Nginx thing. We're going to use the Nginx image. Hit enter. That's up and running. Jump in here. We'll check that out. So localhost 8082. Perfect. Damn, I love Docker. It's like magic. Anyway, now let's tackle it with Docker Compose. Same concept. We're going to start by making a directory this time though. So from here, we're going to make directory, the best Docker Compose. Excellent. Done. We'll jump into our directory. Perfect. Now we're going to make a Docker Compose file, and because we're creative geniuses, we're going to call it docker-compose.yml. Aside from the fact that it's, a logical name and it's helpful for a video, we're also going to call it this because that's the default name. It's the name that Docker expects. So when we run the docker compose command later, we won't need to go to the effort of specifying a file name because it's going to go, oh yeah, cool, a Docker compose file. We're Docker composing. This is the one to use. The other thing was file extension .yml. So YAML. What the hell's a YAML? I love this one. It's called YAML because it's yet another markup language, and it's awesome. It's kind of like we can give the computer a little recipe to follow. So let's open up our Docker Compose recipe and get started. So we will just open that in code. There we go. All right. So the first thing we're going to add to this crockpot is our services. Now within our services, the service we're going to set up here, we're going to call it even cooler Nginx. I'm going to go in another tab. Yes, tabs, very important. It's kind of like Python. Everything is tab dependent. Image, we're going to still specify that we're using Nginx. So we'll use the latest one. Now a bit of a difference here. We're going to go ports, tab in again, and in quotation marks we'll go 8083, link to port 80. Awesome. Now technically we're kind of done here. We can just run this. So if we save that, jump back in here, and we will go docker-compose up, and we're on detached mode. So we didn't have to bother calling out the file name, it just knew. So we can see two cool things here. First, it's created a network for us. the best Docker Compose default. So if we type in Docker network list, there we go. Docker Compose defaults, bridge network, and it's set up, and it's also created our container. Everything gets the prefix of the folder name. So the best Docker Compose, and then an even cooler Nginx, ready to go. So far, we've really only managed to do what we did with our run command though. So it seems like we're just adding extra steps for no real value. Actually, let's just go in and make sure that's actually worked. Perfect. All right, so it's up and running. We know it works. But so far it hasn't added much value for us. In fact, it's just added extra steps. So what if we wanted to make something a little bit more practical? What if we wanted to, say, set up a WordPress environment? So we'll start by creating our new folder. So we're going to make a directory for cool WordPress thing. Excellent. Now we'll jump into that directory. We're going to create a new Docker Compose file. Excellent. And we're going to jump into that. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit crazy here. So we're going to add in our services. We're going to add a cool website service. Use the image of WordPress, the latest one. We'll go ports. This time we're going to use 8084 to port 80. We're going to set up some environment variables. So this is how WordPress is going to understand how to engage with the database. Actually, before that, we're going to say that it needs to depend on a database. So we'll say depends on DB. Actually, kind of like ports. We need to tab in for that one as well. We haven't set up what DB is yet, but we're going to set up the environment variables now. Environment. Yep, spelling, never my forte. Still not right. No, yeah, we're good. WordPress DB host. I'll call it DB. WordPress DB user. Use the root user. WordPress DB password. So cool. And WordPress DB name. And we'll just call it WordPress. Excellent. All right. So we said it depends on DB. We haven't said what DB is yet. So let's create a service called DB. Image. Call MySQL latest image. Set up some environment variables. Yep. Environment. MySQL database. WordPress. We'll go MySQL. Root. Password. Also, so cool. So now we've said to our WordPress service, you're going to depend on DB. This is DB. And in our environment, we've got our host, which is DB. Got our user, which is the root user, so that's the default one. We're telling it to use this password in the database, which is this password. So here we say, type this in when you're logging in. Here we say, set the password to be this. Got our database name. I'm telling WordPress, hey, use this database. So what else are we going to need? Technically, we could probably run with this, but we're going to add one more thing just for a quality of life improvement, we're going to go volumes. We're going to add a volume in here. I'm going to say from this directory, add a DB folder, and we're going to link that to the lib MySQL, so the MySQL folder in our container. Excellent. We'll save all that. Now adding in this volume means that we're going to be able to persist our data even once we stop and start the container. So let's jump in here and we're going to type docker compose up. We'll run in detached mode again. All right. So we can see once again, it's set up a bridge network for us called cool WordPress thing _ default. We've got our 2 containers up and running. So the cool WordPress thing database and the cool WordPress thing cool website. So if we jump in here, I think we used port 8084 this time. I don't think our database is up and running just yet, so we'll give it a second. Some thinking music. All right, and we are in luck. The database is now up and running. So we can select our language. Such a cool website. Username, cool dude. Password, cool password. Send an email. Confirm the use of, I don't know if I'd call that a weak password. I think it's pretty baller. All right, install. No, thank you, Chrome. All right. Cool dude is logging in with his cool password. And here we are, WordPress up and running. Such a cool website. Now, we jump in here and go docker compose down. It's going to stop our containers for us. So now if we jump here, refresh the page. Oh no, this site can't be reached because we stopped everything. And taking it down actually deletes the containers as well. So, sad day, we just went through, we set up our website, we went through that very lengthy install process for WordPress. But because we set a volume, our data should persist. So let's bring that back up again. Docker compose up in detached mode. Everything is now started again. Let's jump across here. They're establishing a database connection, but we know that WordPress is now up and running. We'll give the database a moment here to just go through things, process some emotions, get ready to tackle the day. It's Monday morning, it can be a bit challenging. Let's try refresh. Excellent, now we have our login screen. So cool dude, logging in with the cool password. And here we are. Already set up, such a cool website, ready to go, data persisted. How good is that? Congratulations, you are now equipped with the knowledge to set up and deploy awesome apps using Docker Compose. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you found this helpful and want more content like this. And until next time, have a good one.